Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Now quickly I would like to shout out my friend Matt Chaffee. I'm going to link his channel in the description. He actually is doing a podcast now on YouTube, a NASCAR podcast that I was a guest on for the most recent episode. So I'll link his channel in the description. I would love if you guys would go check his channel out and check the podcast out that I was on and see what you guys think about it. It's certainly worth a check. But now as we look into this episode, we will be going to Bristol Motor Speedway here for the Xfinity Series for Hailie Deegan and myself in the Cup Series. And Hailie Deegan did start on the pole in her Xfinity Series race, and she really would not look back. The first few laps were a bit of a fight for her as she was trying to battle with the 7 of Justin Allgaier, as well as she would battle with other cars. But as she came through to complete this first lap, still side by side for the lead. She did not lead the first lap, but that really didn't matter as she would pull ahead just a little bit going into turns 1 as she continued to battle side by side with Justin Allgaier. But Allgaier would fade quite a bit down the field as he wasn't even around Hailie Deegan at the midpoint of this race as she would get ahead. As you see her now in front of Christopher Bell, and by the time she came to the white flag, Spencer Gallagher would move into that second position as Hailie Deegan is in command with 3 wins already in her rookie season in the Xfinity Series, I believe equal to the amount she had in the Truck Series, but it's about to become 4 as Hailie Deegan would win in Bristol as we had a car spinning on the exit of turn 4, but no caution would come out, so Hailie Deegan would get win number 4 already of her Xfinity career, more than I got in my rookie season. I believe I got 2 or 3 in my rookie season in the Xfinity Series. I know I won at Charlotte and I won at Bristol. I believe Hailie Deegan has swept the Bristol races, and she now is, I believe, one of the top seeds when it comes to the playoff bracket. So certainly looking good going into this playoffs this season. We might actually have a legitimate chance at winning the championship, just like we did with Hailie Deegan in the Truck Series. But now as we set our sights towards the Cup race, our next 4 races there, you see Bristol, Darlington, Indy, and Vegas, Indianapolis being the playoff cutoff. We only have 3 races remaining until the playoffs, and Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney battle it out for that final playoff spot. But as we come to qualifying, I made it to the 3rd session in the qualifying session, so I was very confident in the cars who came down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. This would be the final lap I ran in this 3rd and final session. As we came out of turn 4 to cross the line, we would hit 19.7 or 16.7, and that would put us on the pole to start Bristol. So let's go see if we can hang on to that number 1 position.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series returns to the last great Coliseum for the running of the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. One of the most popular events on the NASCAR schedule, this half-mile concrete oval is famous for its bone-rattling hits and heart-stopping finishes. To put it mildly, this race is special, and there's simply nothing quite like Bristol Motor Speedway under the lights. Only 3 races left before the playoffs start. Who will come out on top tonight? Well, it's time to find out on PRN.
Alright, we are ready to go green in Bristol. Myself on the pole, Eric Almirola on the outside front row. Danica Patrick sent to the back after crashing during qualifying. She was going to be in the back anyways, obviously. Brad Keselowski failed technical inspection, so he is sent to the rear of the field. We're going to see if he can rebound in today's episode as we get ready to go green in Bristol Motor Speedway. The green flag is out, and we are underway at a track that I have not yet won at in NASCAR Heat 3 in the Cup Series, at least, as we try to change that today as we come through turns 1 and 2, running that bottom line. Almirola, he was up at the top. He closes in on me down the back straightaway as we come through now into turns 3 and 4. Behind us, Harvick and Busch battle side by side for that 3rd spot as Harvick comes out in front of Busch as we come through to complete the first lap as we lead lap 1 with 29 to go in this first stage. And immediately you can see that I'm pulling away from the field, so I was certainly very confident with the speed in this car and the handling of this car. I changed the setup that I had. I decided to put my own spin on the setup that I was running before earlier in this season at Bristol and last season. I made the car much tighter than it used to be, and it certainly seemed to pay off. By the time we came to lap 5, or approaching lap 6 now, we pulled away a little bit more over Almirola. I believe now 2nd place is Kyle Busch, battling for 2nd place at least with Eric Almirola as we come down the back straightaway, just trying to pull away from these guys and maybe just get to lap traffic before any of them can get to me. I don't think we're going to be a winning car in this race, but we're certainly going to be a top 5 car. And by the time we came to lap 15 of 30, about the halfway point in stage 1, you see we're closing in on lap traffic, and myself and Kyle Busch have just run away from the field. And Kyle Busch is certainly closing in on me at this point in the stage. He's certainly faster than me, so I was certainly trying to speed it up a little bit, trying to improve my pace, but it really wasn't enough as the 18 was just continuing to reel me in throughout this whole stage, and I was just hoping that we could hang on by the time we came to lap 17. Now closing in on lap traffic, passing the 51 of Harrison Rhodes and the 62 of Brendan Gaughan as we came across the line to hit 13 to go in this first stage. Kyle Busch continuing to reel me in as he's running that bottom line now as we come down the back straightaway. He does get held up by the 51 of Harrison Rhodes as we come through turns 3 and 4, now passing the 72 of Corey LaJoie as we came across the line. We would run down Danica Patrick and make a move to her inside now as we come through turns 1 and 2. Coming to 10 to go this time by in the stage, we make contact with the 7 of Danica Patrick as we send it in deep, hitting the apron in turns 3, but fortunately we hang on to the car as we come into turn 4, getting very loose now on the exit of the corner, and Kyle Busch would be able to take the lead from me as he stole the lead as we got sideways on the exit of turn 4. Fortunately, we did hang on to the car, and we're still in the battle with Kyle Busch as we descended down into turns 3 and 4, as Kyle Busch now is the leader, obviously, as he tries to hang on for the stage victory now as we came to a few laps later, making contact with the 34 of McDowell now on lap 27. We're coming to 3 laps to go at this point in the first stage. You see Kyle Busch on that outside line battling alongside the 8 of Daniel Hemrick, trying to put him a lap down, and Kyle Busch was really struggling to pass the 8 of Hemrick, and that was allowing me to close in on the back of both of them as we come through turns 1 and 2. They make big contact down the back straightaway as Hemrick ran the 18 out of room, and now we join the party as we have a chance to maybe steal back the stage 1 victory. And me and Kyle Busch have both been up front battling here in recent races. Obviously, Watkins Glen, we won there over Kyle Busch. Now, as we come down the back straightaway, me and him made contact in Pocono, causing an incident as we come through turns 3 and 4. Kyle Busch barely touches the wall, I think, as we hit the white flag in stage 1. I had a plan to maybe send it up the inside in turns 3 and 4 to make it 3 wide, and we're going to try and stick with that plan as we exit turn 2, down the back straightaway, going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time in stage 1. We send it up the inside of the 8 and the 18, and we're going to come out of turn 4 in front, and we will win stage 1 after stealing back the stage victory from Kyle Busch, who was able to really steal the lead from me when I got loose. And that will add a playoff point for myself, obviously, as our teammate Kyle Larson gets 5th in the stage, and Joey Logano rounds out your top 10. So a very good rebound here now for Brad Keselowski. He started it in the rear of the field, and he worked his way up to the 6th position. So a huge comeback for him as we get ready to start stage 2, and the green flag is out. Once again, we are underway in Bristol as we lead down into turns 1 over Kyle Busch. He's probably not the happiest right now after completely blowing the stage 1 victory as we come down the back straightaway. He is all over my back bumper as we head down into turns 3 and 4, coming through now on the exit of the corner to complete this first lap of the stage, just trying to drive away. And we didn't have to pit at the end of stage 1, so I was certainly concerned that I might not have the speed that I did in the first stage, and it's immediately showing as Kyle Busch. We're not pulling away from him now as he is all over my back bumper through turns 3 and 4, and Martin Triggs Jr. rides behind him as we cross the line, hit 26 to go in the second stage. And you see Busch looking to my inside. I decide, you know what, we're going to let him have the spot as we barely tag the wall as I just moved up the track a little bit, allowing him to be able to take the lead, as I didn't see it really being a point to fighting him at this point in the stage 2. I mean, there's so much time to go, so I decided to let him have the position. And now Martin Triggs Jr. looks to my inside, and we go a little wide again. The car was certainly tightening up to the point where I was not really able to drive like I wanted to. As you see, Truex continues to battle on my inside as we cross the line to hit the lap 5 of stage 2 now as he comes through turns 1 and 2, trying to slide up in front of me, and we finally give up the spot to Truex as our teammate Kyle Larson sends it up my inside and almost drove into the side of me, but fortunately we were able to hang on to the 3rd position momentarily as we came out of turn 4 to cross that line, as Kyle Busch runs first and Truex runs second now, as Truex in his final season in that 78 car until we go to the 2019 DLC. And by the time we came to the midway point in Stage 2, we did drop back to the 4th position behind Chase Elliott. We did get past Truex, who actually started falling off. So Kyle Busch, our teammate Larson, and Chase Elliott run top 3 now as I sit P4, trying to run down the 9 of Elliott at this point in the race. And Chase Elliott is certainly a driver that we have our eyes on right now. He holds the last playoff position. A new winner will kick him out, but he is trying to fight Ryan Blaney to stay in, as Blaney, I believe, came into this race 26 points out behind Elliott. So he tries to continue to have a performance like this, which will increase that points gap going in to Darlington. Now, obviously, Elliott had an engine issue in the most recent episode, and that certainly changed things up a bit for him. Now it's come through down with 10 laps to go now in Stage 2, coming out of Turn 2. Logano passing the 78 of Truex behind me by the time we came to lap 25 of 28 in Stage 2. Looking to the inside of Brendan Gaughan as we are working our way through lap traffic, and our teammate Kyle Larson, he was starting to struggle. He got passed by Chase Elliott, who started working his way forwards. He actually got past Kyle Busch as well, so Kyle Busch falls down to second. Elliott to the lead here on Bristol as we just about get into the back of the 62 of Gaughan through turns 3 and 4 on the exit of the corner. It is 2 laps to go at the line as we make contact with the car on the outside of Ryan Newman, who's having a terrible day as we come through turns 1 and 2. Larson, our teammate, still stuck in traffic, allowing me to be close as we come down. Brendan Gaughan forcing it up his inside as we come out of turn 4 to hit the white flag in Stage 2. It may be a chance to pass our teammate Larson before the stage is over. Truex, he runs me down through turns 1 and 2, so I certainly know right away I have to at least pass my teammate Larson so I don't get passed by the 78, and we do just that. We look to the inside through turns 3 and 4, and Stage 2 we will come through out of turn 4 to finish 3rd in the stage, as I believe Chase Elliott did hang on. He did. Chase Elliott wins Stage 2, getting himself a playoff point in case he does make the playoffs, and certainly this is a big boost for him as Ryan Blaney is not even in the top 10, so this certainly is going to be not good for Ryan Blaney as we took 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and we had mixed strategies. The front runners, we all took 4 tires except Chase Elliott. He took 2 tires, and some of these other drivers took 2 tires as we get ready to go green, and it's back out, and we are underway for the final stage here in Bristol Motor Speedway as we start behind the 88 of Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch on my outside, Truex and Larson behind me, and Chase Elliott might be in a really good position right now unless maybe we can find a way to nurse our way through traffic. We might be able to run him down, the same as the 18 of Kyle Busch, the 78 and the 42 as we come through to complete the first lap in this final stage. Looking to the inside of Alex Bowman in the number 88 as we come out of turn 2, clearing the 3 of Austin Dillon now as we're going to send it into turns 3 on the inside of Bowman, trying to clear him maybe a bit. I thought about using a slide job to get up in front of him, but I decided to play it a little bit safe as we work our way up to P13 with just 59 laps to go in this race, which is sounds like a lot of laps, but at Bristol this is a very short amount of time we have left in this race now as we continue to work that inside as Kyle Busch is all over my back bumper, looking to my outside as we go down into turns 1 and 2, trying to pass David Reagan as we do clear him as Truex is going to take it 3 wide, and he's going to come up my inside as we make a little bit of contact out of turn 2, but fortunately we hang on to the car as we come through turns 3 and 4, closing in on the back of the 20 of Jones and the 19 of Suarez. By the time we came to lap 70, still looking to the inside of Daniel Suarez now in the 8th position at this point as Suarez is in his final season in the 19 car. Obviously, when we go to the 2019 DLC, he might not even be there at all if I drive that 41 car next season. We are in talks with Stewart-Haas Racing and Team Penske and even Hendrick Motorsports for when we go to the 2019 DLC. It's just a matter of what team I want to go to at this point. But by the time we came to lap 85, worked my way back into the top 5. Now as we sit in the 5th position, coming across the line with just 40 laps to go in Bristol as we're kind of on an island of our own. There's Hamlin's up ahead a little bit and there's no one really close to me, but we would come through to start passing lap traffic as we have a spin. Up ahead is DJ Kennington, fellow Canadian, as he stops on the apron. No caution would be called, and that's the second incident that I actually saw in this race, and no caution was called for some reason. I'm not sure how the heck NASCAR Heat decides that what is and what's not a caution, because there's some incidents that really shouldn't be cautions in this game, but they are, and then you have incidents like that where it certainly should have been a caution, but it wasn't. So certainly something that needs to be fixed for NASCAR Heat 4, but by the time we came to lap 100, now putting AJ Allmendinger a lap down, Clint Boyer got by me to steal the 5th position as we started losing the pace a little bit as we came across the line to hit 25 to go. And as we close in on Clint Boyer, he passes the 32 Matt Benedetto for just over 6 seconds behind the leader, which I believe is possibly Chase Elliott or someone else now, as we ended up lapping Ryan Newman by the time we hit lap 103. Boyer and Logano started pulling back away from me a little bit, and this is certainly one of the better races that I have certainly run so far at Bristol. Usually I screw up and do something stupid by now, but fortunately we were improving. By the time we came to lap 112, we did pass Joey Logano, moved back into the top 5 as Hamlin and Boyer battle up ahead, as Danica Patrick and Ty Dillon a lap down, kind of in the way, trying to stay to the outside, fortunately, as we come now close to the back bumper of Danica Patrick, trying to put her a lap down. As we come down the back straightaway, she is going to get very protective, but she leaves the inside open going into turns 3, so obviously I take that opportunity to get to her inside and clear her now as we pass Ty Dillon going into turns 1 with just 12 laps to go at this point in the race, certainly running out of time, as we really need a caution if we're going to make something happen late in this race. And by the time we came to 5 to go, Joey Logano would get back past me as we battle on his inside out of turn 4 with just 4 to go now as we cross the lines. Like I said before, at this point we just need a caution because the leader is just up ahead too far. I believe we did cut the gap down a little bit, but it certainly wasn't enough now as we try to get to that left rear of Joey Logano. As Hamlin and Boyer, they continued to drive away now as we cross the line going down into turns 1. 3 laps remain, and Logano looks to the inside of Brendan Gaughan as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway. Logano is certainly starting to pull away from myself as we go into turns 3, clear of the 62 of Brendan Gaughan as we come across the line now to turn 4 to hit 2 laps to go in Bristol. Elliott possibly leading this race. I'm still not 100% sure as it's now under 5 seconds to the leader, but it's not going to matter for us as we come down the back straightaway heading into turns 3. Logano continuing to drive away from me, so we're just trying to hold on to a top 5 at this point as we exit turn 4. The white flag is in the air here in Bristol as we reel in the 95 of Casey Kane in the 23rd spot as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway for the final time in Bristol as we send it into turn 3, trying to look to the inside of Kane, who has run good recently but not today. As we exit turn 4, we make contact with him across the line, but we hang on to the 5th finishing position here in Bristol. So somewhat, maybe you could say it's disappointing because that's my worst finish within the last 5 races. And you see Brad Keselowski actually won the race. The driver that started in the back after failing technical inspection worked his way to the front and won here in Bristol, as Chase Elliott came up very short in the 2nd position. So either way, he didn't win, but it's certainly a very strong performance for the 9 of Elliott as he looks to clinch his position in the playoffs. But he certainly didn't clinch the spot today, but he's getting very close as we look towards Darlington in the next episode. Unfortunately, once again, we have momentum, so not what I like to see is it's a 10% speed boost. Hopefully I can maybe find a way to get rid of it going into Darlington. Ryan Blaney says we've been doing really well. Austin Dillon has a message.
You've been unstoppable. Keep up the momentum.
Thank you, Austin Dillon. He's been sending us a lot of video messages. Truex not happy. We're going to apologize. And Greg Galding, he's a lap car, so I'm not going to apologize to him. DJ Kennington, he may be a Canadian, but we're also going to provoke him. And Clint Boyer is at least happy with us. So Chase Elliott, like I said, looks to hang on to that final playoff position. In the next episode, we will be going to Darlington, the Xfinity. You'll be seeing, I believe, 2 Xfinity races in the next episode for Haley Deegan, Road America, and Darlington. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. As you see, Elliott now is a 48-point buffer over Blaney, so we'll see if he can clinch his spot in the next episode for that final playoff position. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a great day.